Okay, thanks for joining us today for this important webinar on Malaysia's e-invoicing compliance. So I'm sure you guys know that with the 1st January 2025 deadline approaching for the second batch, ensuring compliance is definitely essential to avoiding potential penalties. But don't worry, because today's session will break down the guidelines and show you how our ACT Malaysia E-Invoicing Add-on can make compliance simple and efficient. So, I'd just like to introduce our speaker today. So our speaker today is Ms. Ziwei, and she is an experienced customer support consultant with deep expertise in ERP support services and systems testing. So today she'll be guiding you through the e-invoicing regulations, and she'll also show you a demonstration of our solution, as well as sharing practical tips that you can take to ensure your compliance. Also, stick around after the presentation for a Q&A, where Ziwei will address any specific questions that you have. And if we don't have time to answer your question, or if we don't have the answers, sometimes not everybody has all the answers, but if we don't have the answers, we'll be sure to take it down and come back to you about it. Okay? So with that, and without any further ado, let's welcome Ms. Ziwei to take the stage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Keisha. Okay, so I'm Ziwei. So I'm trying to share my screen now. Okay, I'm sharing my slide with the QR code for the attendance. So I will need your help to clock in your attendance for me so that we could share the information with you afterwards. Okay. It will take you around, I think, 2 minutes for that one. You will just give us your name, your email address, your company names, and so on. Okay, also just in case you are unable to see my screen, please let me know. We are doing some sound checking as well. So do let us know if you have any difficulties on hearing my voice or looking at my screen sharing. Okay, thank you. I received 3 clock in for me. Okay, we got 4 now. 5, thank you. We have 6 now. Seven and 8. Okay, I think all of us are clocked in. Thank you so much for your help. Okay, so let's get started to our topics today. Okay, so why are we here today? Today, I'm going to share with you some information that we extract from the guidelines that released by the LHDN. Okay, so hope that it will be giving you an understanding or a concept for what is e-invoice is going on. Then following by, we will be going through what we offers for the e-invoice approaches for your version, and also we will be ended with the checklist that you will need to prepare. Okay, so we will be going through all the versions. I believe we have some prospects here. So I believe most of you are in the BC version, which is a newer version. Okay, so we will be getting into our topics today. Okay, so this is something about myself. I'm Ziwei. I think for our existing customer, hear a lot of my voice but never see my face before. Okay, so this is how I look like. Okay, so majority I'm doing supports from the customer. So if you have any doubts after this session or during the Q&A session, you can just raise your hand or type your query in the chat room. We will try our best to answer your queries. All right. Okay, let's move on. So this will be the summaries of the topics today. We will be going through the overview for what we understood from the guidelines, which is released by the LHDN. Okay, and what we offers to you to get yourself to fit in the invoice policies, I should say. Okay, then lastly, what you will need to prepare in order for you to get ready for the e-invoice being implemented in your system. Okay, let's move on. So from what we know, as Kisha mentioned just now, we have mainly 3 batches for the launches date, which is mandatory for the companies to follow. So basically, we are now go live for the first batch, which is on the August this year, and now I believe most of you are on the second batch, which shall be starting from January next year. Okay, and lastly, we will have another batch for next year, mid next year. Okay. All right. So what is the e-invoice is all about? It will be requiring you to prove your income and also to prove your expenses. Okay. So what is considered under incomes? So everything that you have being sold or any transaction being made is recognized as your income. So you should prove that to the government. Okay, so the similar concept applies to the proof of expenses. So any purchase you made or any returns or discount you have received, you should declare as well. Okay, you should declare as well. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so in the guidelines, there are some sorts of renewal or invoices that is not required for the invoice. For example, you have the rulers or the ruling chief, the former rulers. Okay, in short, you have seen all these categories. In short, if you are the government sector, if you are the ruler of the of the of the area, or you are the king or queen of the area, you can escape from this. Okay, other than that, you are compulsory to submit your e-invoice. So what are the examples of the income or expenses being excluded is on the employment income or your pension or even your zakat or your scholarship. Okay, so for more information, we have a citation at the bottom here. If you would like to know more in details, you could refer to the section that we mentioned here. Okay, all right, so let's move on. Okay, so other than that, both B2B and B2G for the e-invoice is working on the same flow. Okay, so just now we have reviewed the industries and types of the revenue accepted from the e-invoice. Okay, let's see who are required to issue the e-invoice. Who can raise only the when required, and when issue, do they still need to prove the income? Okay, so these are the sectors that you are going to submit. Okay. So, and also these are the sectors that allowed to submit in the consolidated form. Okay. Okay, so all this information, we are just giving you an summary on that. So if you are interested in details on what is really going on the guidelines, you could refer to the section here at the bottom. We stated on here. All right. Okay. Move on. So in accordance with the section 3.7.2 of the e-invoice specific guidelines, Okay, there are certain industry that are not being allowed to do the consolidated invoice. Okay, for example, if you are running the business of the automotive or luxuries goods or casino, okay, you are not allowed to submit your e-invoice by consolidated. Okay, next. Okay, so this is how the e-invoice will be working and how the data is flowing. Okay, so we extract this print screen from the guidelines release. Okay, so as you can see from here, when a sales or a transaction is being made, it should be trigger the issuance of the e-invoice. Okay, so for the issuance of the e-invoice, you will need to submit to the e-invoice portal, okay, to get the document being validated. Okay, so if you got the document being validated, you will be receiving an notification from the IRBM site. Okay, so both yourself and your sorry, I should say both the supplier and the buyer will be informed for this. Okay, other than that, you will need to share your e-invoice information with your client, with your customer. So the expectation here is that there will be a QR code presented on the document for the recipients, which is the buyer, to check the e-invoice information from the document itself. Okay, what if there is any rejection on that? So the issuance will be giving a time period, okay, for the rejection. Then the supplier will need to perform the cancellation for the document and submit again. So it will be starting from here again. Okay, get validated, then get being notified, then going to share with your buyer. Okay, so end of the day, your records will be stored in the My Invoice portal. This is how it works on a very high level. Okay, move on. Okay, according to the announcement from the IRBM, there are mainly two methods for the submission. First, on the My Invoice portal, which is the official app that is hosted by the IRBM, and this is accessible to all the taxpayer, provided that your directors being granted you the access to the portal, then only you will be able to access. Yeah. Okay, next, it will be no cost at all because everyone is allowed to access to the portal as long as you are being granted. Okay, then by submitting on the portal, it will be manual uploading. Okay, so this is the first method. It will be more on manual way of doing. Then the other method that IRBM accept is that the API method. So this is the linkage between your system and to the portal. Okay, so of course with the linkage you will need required upfront investment to build up the linkage. Okay, and also this is helpful if you have very large volume of transaction. This is no need for you to manually upload one by one. Okay, adapting the API method. So I'm going to share with you on how the data is flow with the API methods. Okay, so just now we have shown you the very high level of the workflow. So every single document that will be starting from the issuance. Okay, so it will be issued by the by the by the by the by the by the vendor, I should say, by the supplier. Okay, so by the supplier, so that it will be sending the information. The supplier will be sending the information to the portal, which you can see there is number 2 here. Sorry, number 1 here. It will be issuing to the IRBM cloud, and IRBM cloud will be returning back the validated information to the supplier. Okay, so the supplier will be giving an notification, and also the supplier will need to share the information to the buyer. Okay, so the buyer here can can either request for reject or or accept the document. Okay, so assuming that it is being accepted, so it will be flowing to the IRBM database and store inside it. Okay, if the buyer was rejected the document, it will be flowing back to the to the to the supplier. Then the supplier will do all over again the flow. Okay, so this is how the data will be flowing among your system and the IRBM side. Okay, so according to the guidelines, there are 4 types of documents that you are going to submit. Okay, first on the invoice. So what is actually invoice referring to? Invoice is a commercial documents that itemize and records all the transaction. Okay, secondly, credit notes. So the credit notes will be mainly used to correct the errors or being granted for the discount to the invoice issue earlier. Then next, debit note. It will be used to indicate additional charges on the invoice we have earlier. And lastly, we have the return notes. So this is to use as the return of monies only. Okay. This is for the purchase side. Then purchase side, we have a special scenario is that we call it purchase self-bill e-invoice. Okay, why we have this self-bill e-invoice? Because you might have the overseas vendors that who are unable to provide you the e-invoice information. So you will need to submit the document on behalf of them. Okay, so this is where the purchase purchase self-bill e-invoice take place. Okay, so from here what you can see is that the what kind of transaction that you could submit using self-bill other than the foreign vendors is that you have the agents, or you have the distributors in local, and also the individual taxpayer providing the service or the goods, so you can issue the self-bill e-invoice on behalf of them. Okay, so basically this is what we could extract from the guidelines that released by the government, that we think this is a very important points to highlight for you to know what is e-invoice is going on. Okay, so followed by the concept. Just now we said that the IRBM portal allows you to upload to submit the information. So they only accept for two types of the file type, which is XML and JSON file. So other than these two, they are not receiving. Okay, they are not accepting, I should say. Okay, you cannot use your PDF file or your document or even JPEG file to submit to the portal, so they will be bouncing back. Okay, other than that, just now we mentioned that we have to share the information to our client, so this is the standard layout that we have built, okay, according to our standard report layout lah. Okay, so we have added the information here at the bottom, so the customer could scan this QR code, then the QR code will be redirecting them to the My Invoice portal, so they can check all the information for this invoice being issued to them. Okay, similarly, we have this sample of the self-bill e-invoice. So this is on the purchase side. You are creating this invoice, you are submitting this invoice on behalf of your foreign vendors or for your individual service provider and so on. So we will be needing this QR code as well. Okay, so for this package, we have included the QR code for six types of the documents. So the 6 types are purchase invoice, purchase credit memo, purchase debit note. Okay, then for sales side, it will be sales invoice, sales credit memo, and also sales debit note. So total up 6. Okay, so the 6 will be similarly to this layout lah. So we will standardize the QR code at the bottom left corner. Okay. Okay, so we are done with all the quite high level of the overview. We are now trying to dive in slightly. So these are the fields that you will need to maintain in your Mastercard. Okay, so the company here is all about yourself. What is your business registration number? What is your MSIC code? What is your TIN number? What is your e-invoice version number? Okay, other than that, you will need to maintain your vendors information as well, and also your customer information. So these are the mandatory fields you will need to maintain. Okay, so for here you can see that we have some fields highlighted in blue. These are the fields that we are available for those customers who have already purchased our another ISV, which is our SST ISV. Okay, so because of the SST ISV are requiring all these fields already, so you have already all these fields, only the white color fields you don't have. Okay, but no worries, we will add this for you if you have subscribed our e-invoice add-in. Okay, other than the master information, these are the fields that mandatory on the documents itself. So in total it will be 51 fields. Okay, so for the mandatory fields, you could refer to the guidelines on the page 45 to 51. So it will be showing you on why they need this field, what is this field serves for, and so on. All right. Okay. Other than that, for the public or for the foreign vendor and foreign supplier, there will be a general TIN for you. Okay, so these are the TIN. So it will be end with 10. It will be used for the general public TIN. Okay, who are the individuals buyers that only able to provide their IC number? Okay, for example, if you have an driver, if you have a driver that who is only able to provide his IC number, so you can use this code number 10. Okay, for 20 it will be your foreign buyer, foreign customer, so they are not under Malaysia, so I don't think they are able to provide their TIN number. So for this case, you could use the 20 as the general TIN for the foreign buyer. Similarly, you can use 30 for your foreign supplier. Okay, since we are talking about the foreign trade, so there will be a doubts. There might be a doubts from you. How about the exchange rate? So basically, the exchange rate will be follow the exchange rate that is being recognized by our government. Okay, if you don't have the information, then it will be follow your own systems exchange rates policy. Okay, for more information, you could refer to the guideline as well. Okay. And next, okay, we are done with the overview. Okay, so I would like to share with you how we are providing our packages to help you with all those points that we have gone through just now. Okay, so what CRT offers is that we split into versions. Okay, so if you are using the version of NAV which is 2017 and below, we will use the approach of the middleware. Okay, so I should say called connector lah, not really middleware, connector. So there will be a staging connector to pass the information to the IRBM portal and pulls back all the information to you. Okay, if you are using NAV 2018 and above, those above are including those PC versions, so it will be using the API method, which the API method works as what we have gone through just now. Okay, so may I know anyone of here is not sure about which version you are currently using? please let me know. Anyone? No one is raising your hand, so I assume everyone knows their own version, yeah? Okay, so let me switch back to my slide properly. Okay, so for the 2017 and below, we will be using the function of the exporting the sales invoice to the connector, and also this offers to the purchase side as well. Okay, so the middleware will be pushing the data to the invoice portal and also pulling back the e-invoice information to your system. Okay, so that you can get the synchronized information between both sides. Okay, and also just in case you miss out some information on the document before you submit, then yes, we provide the flexibility of updating certain fields on the posted document so that you can make the correction and submit again. Okay, then lastly, we will be providing the three layouts which I have introduced just now with the QR code at the bottom left corner. Okay, so 3 for sales, then the other 3 for the purchase. Okay, so let me show you some screenshots that we have for the NAV 2017 and below. Okay, so this is what we have on the company information, which it will be a place for you to manage your own information, such as the TIN number, the MSIC code, which we shared just now. Okay, and also for this customer side, we have the fields on the customer card to record their own business registration number and TIN number, and also there will be TIN number in the ship to address as well. Okay, similarly on the vendor side, we have the TIN number field for you to record your vendor's information. Okay, so we are done with all those master data. So if you would like to submit your documents, your posted documents, there will be a function with the name export e-invoice. So with this click, it will be passing all the information to the connector, then the connector will be submitting to the portal for us. Okay, and the portal will be returning back all this information to the connector, then the connector will be pushed back to your NAV. Okay, so other than that, we have the fields on the posted document. So from here, you will be able to know that, okay, what is the status for this document now? Is it being exported, or it is being rejected, or even this is validated? Okay, so from here you can tell. And similarly, on the purchase side, we have the field as well. So the purchase side, it will be another field with the name of self e-invoice. So this tick indicate that this is the self-bill e-invoice. So it will be only submitting the purchase document with this tick. Okay, so it won't be having any impacts for those purchase documents that you have for your local vendors. Other than that, we have some summary reports for you to check all the status of the submission. And we have, okay, so yeah, so this is what we have for the version of 2017 and below. Okay, so next it will be the API method. So I believe this is where most of you are in. Okay, so this is slightly different from what we have just now. So it will be an auto upload function for you to talk to the My Invoice portal. Okay, so we have the synchronization for the posted document which already submitted to the portal. And also there will be a function for you to download the purchase invoice from the portal. Okay, and also just in case that you have any mistake or you have missed out some fields before you have submitted this, we have the function for you to update the posted document only for certain fields here. Okay, and also we will have the 3 reports for adding the QR code. for sales and also another 3 for the purchase. Okay, and lastly, it will be having an audit log for this. Okay, so for this, I think I could share with you from the print screen first. Okay, so similarly, we have the fields for you in the company information for you to manage your own information, the TIN number, the MSIC code, and the tourism tax registration if you are in the tourism industry. Okay, so we have the same thing for the customer card. We have the fields for you to record your customer's registration number and TIN number. Okay, then on the ship to address as well, we have the fields. Okay, so similarly on the vendor, we have the TIN number field for you to record all your vendors information. Okay, next, because you are using the API method, so it will be a configuration you will need to do to set up the connection between your system and the My Invoice portal. So these are the sample setup here, but no worries, we have a very simple way of setting it up. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so on the posted document, we have the fields to show you on what is the status of the e-invoice now and when it was being submitted. Then similarly on the purchase side, we have the fields as well. Okay, so it will be the same. The self e-invoice field is a tick. This tick will be helping system to indicate that whether this document will need to submit to the portal or not. Okay, only the self e-invoice field with the tick will be submitting to the portal. Okay, so next we will have an integration log. This is the log page that's showing the status of the documents, whether it is being submitted or it is being rejected and so on. Okay, so this is the one, and something special, we have a dashboard for this. So the dashboard will be showing you as I should say statistic lah, a summary on how many you have in the pending status, how many you will be invalidated, and how many you are being rejected. So from the landing page, you will be able to check all this information. And also same with what we have just now, there will be a report to list down all the status that is available. Okay, so these are the reports as well, and this is the report also. Okay, so next, just now we mentioned about the 3 complementary reports that we will share to you. Yes, we will share with you for the sales e-invoice, posted sales invoice and posted sales debit note and posted sales credit memo. So to standardize, we will just add the QR code and the very simple information at the bottom left corner. Okay, so similarly to the purchase side, we will providing the purchase invoice, purchase debit note, and purchase credit memo. And it will be the same. The QR code will be at the bottom left corner. Okay, so I could demo to you for some of the features. Okay, so this is BC. I'm using BC, so I think most of you are in this version. I think you are quite familiar with this, so I will be going to share with you the some setup. Okay, let me go to my company information. Okay, so company information here, I have a fast tab with the name of sorry, I think I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, so this will be my company information, and this will be the fast tab that is all about the e-invoice information. So you can see that I have insert all the necessary information lah. Okay, and also on my dashboard, this is the one where we have the statistic of the e-invoice status. So you can see that it's basically split into sales activities and also purchase activities. So all these are clickable. So when I'm clicking inside, then it will be listing down all the information, all the records that fulfills the prefix filter for me. Okay, so other than that, let me share with you on the customer cards. Customer cards. So I have created myself as the customer for this company. So let me open my card. Okay, so from here you can see that there is few for the TIN number and also the registration number. Okay, so what you need to do is just filling in all this information lah. Okay, so similarly on the vendor side, okay, I have created myself as the vendor as well. So on the vendor side, you will have the fields as well. Okay, so it will be at the bottom here, invoicing tab. It will be showing you the TIN number for you to select now. Okay, so these are the master data that you will need to set up. Okay, so let me show you on how it works to submit to the my invoice portal. So I'm going to share with you. I'm going to take the sales invoice as the sample. Okay, so let me create one sales invoice. Okay, so I'm issuing to myself. Okay, so with the proper setup on the customer card, it will be bringing over all the TIN number, the business registration number properly to the sales document, I should say. Okay, so let us fill in some items here to sell to Ziwei. Okay, so I will just put then with the price of 5,000. Okay, and also you will notice that there is a few classification code here. So this classification code, it can be prefixed on the item card itself, but I'm not doing the proper setup, so I will just put in the classification code by my own. Okay, so let me post this document. Bin code doesn't exist. Okay, I'll just so okay. Okay, so it will be an posted sales invoice, okay, with exactly the information I have insert just now. Okay, it will be bringing over all my TIN number, all my registration number, and also my items here. Okay, what you will need to do for submitting to the e-invoice portal, there will be a button, upload e-invoice document. So this is a manual process. If you would like to have it on the automated, you can set up the upload using the job queue. So I want it to upload now, so I will just show you on the manual method. Okay, so you can see that after I have uploaded, so the status will be filling in as submitted. Okay, and I'm going to push this to the portal. So I'm going to run on this. Okay, I will just run once. Okay, so it will be a success, and when I'm going back to my invoice, my posted invoice, so it will be showing validated. Okay, so what is this, how we can check what's the result on the invoice portal is that we can go to our invoice portal and go to documents. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so what's the time now? Okay, so you can see that my invoice is here with the date today and the time just now. Okay, so you can see that this is my UUID ended with J10. So the J10 will be updated to here. Okay, this is how we can match the data on the e-invoice portal and in your BC. Okay, so when I'm clicking inside, you can see that all the information it will be showing here. So the classification code here, it should be same as what I have in my lines. Okay, and also the values, the amount values. So it will be 16,200 and it will be 16,200 with the tax of 1,200. Okay, and yeah, so this is the one, and I have my document being validated. I will need to have a print on this. Okay, so let me preview the reports. Okay, so this is how it works for the posted document and the submission. So after submitted, you have an QR code showing at the bottom of this document. So the customer could scan this code to redirect to the My Invoice portal, that it should be showing something like this. Okay, so this is what we offers for the BC version. Okay, let me switch back to my slide. Okay, so yeah, so it will work similarly to the purchase side as well. But the purchase side is that you will need to tick the field self-bill invoice. Okay, then only it will be submitting to the portal for you. Okay, so this is what we offers. Okay, so here comes our last part, what you will need to prepare. Okay, so before you are going to talk to your end user, you will need to know that what are the environment that you have. Okay, then what is the SOP for your sales operations, and also the network. Is it stable for you to connect to the API, or is it stable for you to connect to the connector? Okay, so these are the information that you will need to check before you go to the users. Okay, so for the checklist, it will be basically identifying which batch you are on. Okay, so for this section, I think most of you are on the second batch. So please check your annual revenue for year 2022. Okay, is it fall between 55 millions to the 100 millions? Okay, so if you are more than that, means you are late. If you are less than this, means you are maybe on the other batch. But if you want to start first, yes, it is allowed. Okay, so other than that, you will need to compile the information from your customer and also from your supplier. What are the information that you will need to get from them? Okay, the business registration number, the TIN number, the SSC number, and all the addresses in the proper structure. Okay, and also who are the contacts and the contacts phone number, email, and so on. Okay, and if your customer have multiple ship to address, you will need to get the details of the ship to address information from your vendors, from your customer, and also the registration number, TIN number, and SST number for each ship to address. Okay, next, you will need to identify what are the documents that you are using. Okay, so if you are using those 6 documents, yes, we have the the sample documents, which is we have pre-built it for you. Okay, sometimes you might ask that whether I can use back my own layout, just add another QR code at the bottom. Okay, for CRT customer, yes, we allowed to do so. Okay, but for our new client, we are sorry to inform you that it will be chargeable. Okay, charged by document basis. Okay, okay, and lastly, for you to test, for you to set up for the training afterwards, or you would like to do the testing, you will need to get the access to the pre-production for the portal from your directors. Okay, only you will being granted to access to the pre-production environment, then you will only be able to check all those information that I shared with you just now on the portal, I mean. Okay, So this will be our planning for the second batch. Okay, so we are now here. This is the webinar to share with you what is e-invoice about, what we offer, what you will need to prepare. Okay, so for the cut-off, it will be on 15 October. So I think around 2 weeks from now. Okay, and after cut off we have all your customization, all your source code, then we can merge all those functions to you, and it will be starting for the training in on 23rd and 24th October. So just one day only lah, but the dates here I put two because we will be splitting into two sessions according to your current version. Okay, so after the training for the setup, we have time for you to test and sign off for the setup. Okay, so after you have done all the setup properly, correctly, then we will start the training for the operation. So the operation side will be sharing with you on how you can create the document, how you are going to submit your document, then what if your document being rejected, what you should do, what correction you can do, something like that. Okay, so we have around 1 month time for user to get familiar with this operation lah. So by 20 of December we have the sign off for the operation. Okay, so user is ready to go live on January 1st January. Okay, so this is our plan now. The plan might be changed, but most probably it will be following this framework lah, I should say.
End the session today. So thank you everybody for your time. I hope that Zoe actually just gave you a good insight into how our app can help you to ensure your compliance and to what are the things that you need to prepare before January comes around. So now we're actually in October, so that leaves us with about 2 months thereabouts, with December being the holiday period and all. So if you do need the e-invoice app, please do let us know. This is how you can contact us. You can scan the QR codes. You can contact either Dick or myself or Ziwei and the rest of our support team at support@crtinsights.com, and we'll be able to help you out with the apps as you need. Okay, so once again, thank you for attending our session today. Can you please do us a little favor? There's a QR code on the screen right now that is for the webinar feedback form. And this really greatly helps us to improve, and we appreciate if you can just spare a couple more minutes, just scan the QR code and give us your feedback on today's session. And you can even let us know what you are looking forward to, what do you like us to cover in future sessions and how we can actually improve on the webinar as well. So please scan the QR code and let us know what you think.